This diagram shows the locations for the unison notes that we're going to use in this clip. And what we mean by unison is they're the same note, exactly the same note. This A on the 6th string, 5th fret is exactly the same note as A open. And this D on the 5th fret of the 5th string is the same note as this open D. So by doubling up on these notes, we can get some cool effects and cool little nuance to add to your playing. And it's relatively easy to accomplish, and it's just a matter of getting comfortable with it and then inserting it into your own playing. We'll look at a couple techniques that go along with this, but to start off with, just get used to knowing where these locations are. So we're talking about unison runs now. We're sliding from into the note and then repeating the note in on an open string. We saw in the diagram that those locations for where those notes are. Now let's look at a little bit of technique that goes along with that. The first thing that I'll mention is we're going to start off on this E note, and you downstroke on the closed note, on the note you're fretting, and then upstroke on the string that's open. So by alternating your picking like that, you get this sort of this circular sequence that can get started. So allows you to keep keep in motion and keep working these out. So alternate your picking when you're doing these unison runs. The next thing we'll look at is sliding into these things. So if we slide up into the note that we're choosing, in this case the E again, and then we're going to upstroke on the open string. It's like a slur. It just smooths out your playing. So when you incorporate it, when I started off playing in the clip, I was overusing these a little bit, but I just wanted you to hear, or overusing them quite a bit actually, and but I wanted you to hear what they sound like and what the options, some of the options are to incorporate into this G position. So you wouldn't want to overuse it, but you wanted to use it to blur things together and blend things together. If I were going to do something like using that slide into the note, just thickens things up and just sort of smooths the whole flow of your sequence out a little bit. So it's a good technique to get down. It helps you to join things together. The other thing you can do with them is bend into them. So instead of sliding all the way up to the unison point, so instead of going all the way to this E, I'm actually at E flat here. And bending into them. So I'm bending from a half step below. Bends up into the unison. Kind of a cool effect there. So you've got sliding or bending or a combination of the two. So alternate your picking, slide into them, bend into them. Let's look at a couple pathways that you might find when you're playing around and you're going to incorporate one of these. Say if I were going to start here on this low G and do that little run, instead of just, I could slide up into this A and slur this together. So it takes what you're already doing and you're just making use of a little extra technique to kind of blend it all together. play around with these unison runs for a minute and see what you can do with them. They're a handy tool.